Notice. In accordance with the new copyright regulations, the episode of Quoth the Raven is intended for ages 16 and up. While some of the content we will feature is kid-friendly, the context of the episode is to address adults, to inform them of said content for them to research as consumers in service of the youth. In other words, parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles, teachers, librarians, etc. There is the possibility of adult language present on the episode as well, rated TV 16 and up. Welcome once again, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of Quoth the Raven, Lewis Bright Raven. I'm your host, Lewis Bright Raven, 29-year veteran writer, illustrator, and editor of comics, science fiction, fantasy, role-playing games. And it is Wednesday. That means it's Comics Wednesday, and we are talking about new books this week as well as finishing up the reviews from last week's book. So let's go ahead and finish up the reviews first with CANTO City of Giants, number 1. $3.99. Writers David M. Booher. Publishers IW Publishing, pardon me. Writers David M. Booher. Artist is Sebastian Perez. Man, my typing was bad this morning. I was trying to get these done. Genre is fantasy. And it was released April 14, 2021. And what it's about. Kanto and his fellow Tin Men are hauling a witch back to the City of Giants. Along the way, they come across the two giants. Kanto met in earlier issues and lost her legs and are now banished from their homeland. Kanto feels bad about the situation he's caused from Ba the Giant, who are buried up to their necks as punishment by their queen. Kanto and the witch go to see the king and queen of the giants, who of course deny them what they wish to free Fa and Ba of their predicament. And then he says, well, what can we do? And they basically order Kanto to face a beast named Pharaoh to get his horn in order to free Fa and Ba, and the witch is his companion on this task. The witch is someone he really can't trust. Now, this is a bridge story between the second Kanto series and the upcoming third Kanto series with the guest artist and Sebastian Perez. Therefore, it does have a different look and feel to it. And it's not bad by any means, and he does a respectable job, but it's not quite as good as the regular artist, Zucker. But it's a worthwhile addition, and a story to fill in the goings-on between Kanto and Kanto 3. So folks who have been buying the series regularly should still pick it up, and I doubt that they will be disappointed. Recommended for ages 10 and up, rating 4 out of 5 stars. Our next book is Duplicate number 1 for $3.99, Second Sight Publishing. Writer-creator is Carla Nappi. Art by Mariana, I don't know how I'm going to pronounce this, Strachowska, maybe? I hope I didn't slaughter that name too badly. The cover is by Lila DeLuca and Owen Gianni on colors. Genre is science fiction. Again, typo. Sorry about that. Released April 14th, 2021. What it's about. In the near future, there's a pandemic of organ failure with 0 survival rate. A biotech scientist named Matt Travers finds a means to generate new organs with some sort of nanotechnology. The government then passes laws that outlaw normal organ transplants to force humanity to use Travers' technology. He did not intend this. He intended it as a stopgap while he tries to find a full cure for the pandemic. Meanwhile, a law student named Pamela Wilton is affected by the illness and her lungs stop working, and they replace her lungs with Travers' biotech lungs. She is then bartered on the black market to the highest bidder to pay for this ridiculously expensive medical procedure. Thinking that she's been hired for her legal expertise, she goes to her new employer only to find out that she's now being forced into prostitution and that she is now owned by this party who paid for her procedure. Eventually, she escapes this individual and goes on the run, but because she is the biotech, they can pretty much track her everywhere she goes. But she does manage to reach Matt Travers, and when she does meet him, the police try to take her away, but when Travers refuses to let them, her biotech shuts off effectively, and she dies. Presumably, in my opinion, it seems like it was done by remote, by who was over controlling the technology and sold her on the black market, unseen by the reader as yet. This leaves Travers promising Pamela to find out the truth about what is going on with his tech, which sets up the rest of the series. Now, this is not a bad issue. It gives barely just enough information about Pamela to make the audience care about finding out who and what is behind what happened to her. We know that Travers seems to be a decent enough guy who is genuinely trying to help out the human race, and he is going to go down the rabbit hole of dark world, government, and corporate control society and not like what he's about to find. But is this a story I really want to continue reading? Well, the truth is I've already read Tomorrow and The Clock recently, which were of similar thematic stories about post-pandemic society falling apart in the near future by far better and more experienced creators. And those books didn't really hold my interest. And I was thinking this was more about the idea that you have to keep swapping out organs for nanotech. And at what point do you stop being human when you have nothing but nanotech for your body? Not a conspiracy theory, black government conspiracy stuff. I've already seen enough of that recently. So this is like the third or fourth thing I've seen of this already in the last year. So if I'm being honest with myself, I'm not really interested in the book anymore personally. But that having been said, it's not a bad book. And if you watch my reviews on The Clock or Tomorrow, or I can't remember, it was like Operation Threat Zero, I think was the other one that I did earlier last year, and you want more of the same type of book, this is your jam. It is recommended for mature readers. It is a 3 out of 5. Our next book is The Marvel Legacy of Jack Kirby for $49.99. Publisher is Marvel. The writer-compiler is John Rhett Thomas. Just a second. Sorry, my phone was going off. You guys probably couldn't hear it. All right. 240 pages, art history and appreciation, released originally in October 2015. And what's about 240 pages of Jack Kirby artwork and history with 19 essays from varied writers and artists who either knew him or were influenced by Kirby's work. And of course, it could have been 1,000 essays and it wouldn't do enough justice. And they know this and they acknowledge this in the preface of the book. Now, I happen to get mine for $7.99 for an Ollie's bargain outlet, so I really can't say I didn't get my money's worth. I most certainly did. I can honestly say I don't think I would have spent the full cover price on it, but I also won't say if that cover price is too high. That's, it's a very nice hardcover with a slipcase. It's worth the $50. It's more of a lack of budget issue, so I wouldn't have pre-ordered it. Rather than the value isn't there, the value is most certainly there. And all in all, I've really enjoyed this book. It's recommended for ages 14 and up, particularly comics history buffs. I give it a 5-star rating. And let's go ahead and take a look at that book. And Pop Culture says, hello, Raven. Hello, Pop Culture. And this is the slipcase. It's nice, sturdy cardboard pop thing. That's the back of it. This is the front. And it is a nice, thick, do it that way, hardcover edition. And it talks about all kinds of stuff. The the romance comics, the early horror comics, all the stuff that he did for Marvel, all the way through. Uh, Up to like, what if Stan had been Mr. Fantastic and Jack had been the Thing, and Flo Steinberg had been Invisible Girl in the back of it. And it is a very beautiful book. And like I said, it's definitely worth the $49.99. If you happen to be having Ollie's bargain outlet, I would go hunt and see if they've got them still in stock, and get it there. But if you can't, just look for it. I'm sure you can get it at a reasonable cost. Okay, and our last book for review today is USAGI YOJIMBO number 18 for $3.99 from IW Publishing. Writer-artist is Stan Sakai with colors by Hi-Fi Design. Genre is anthropomorphic samurai adventure. Released April 14th, 2021. What it's about: in the third and final act of Tengu, Usagi joins the Tengu clan led by Sajobo and his crow warriors against the rival Guhin werewolves. He is concerned about whether the ranks of the Tengu will trust him because he spared the life of the crow warrior last issue, and there is tension in their ranks over it. When the Guhin strike, they trap the Tengu and box them in from two sides. Will Usagi and the Tengu triumph, or is this the end of our fabled Ronin rabbit? As usual, Sakai excels. There's not much else to say. Recommended for ages 10 and up, rating 5 stars. I know I didn't really show my art like I normally do this week. It's been a very bad week. I don't want to get into all the details. But trust me, you don't want to know. But I did get the good news is we're not going to talk about all the bad stuff that's going on this week. We're going to talk about the good stuff and have a good day for the show. We're going to talk about what cool stuff I got today at the comic shop. And that includes Astronaut Academy Splashdown by Dave Roman. This is from First Second Publications. This is the third volume. This is a new book. The first two volumes, Zero Gravity and Re-Entry, they're not reprints, but they were done by another publisher before that. And I have the earlier publications versions. And this is the first new book. Yojimbo Netflix series. Is there one? I have no idea. I don't have Netflix, so I have no idea. But if that would be cool if they did. I wonder how they would do it and really do it justice. But it would be cool if they at least tried it. And if Stan was happy, I'd probably be okay with it. Our next book that I got this week was Bequest number 2 by Tim Seeley and Freddie Williams 2 from Aftershock. It's $4.99. These books will be reviewed next week on Monday. From Dark Horse, I got James Stakow's Orphan and the Five Beasts number 2. Another book from Aftershock. We've talked about this a little bit in an earlier episode when I had Graham Nolan on as a guest, and that is The Girls of Dimension 13 by Graham Nolan, Brett Blevins, Graham writing with Brett doing the art, Gregory Wright doing the colors, and I guess it's Carlos is either the editor or the letterer. I guess he might be the letterer. That's a cool, yeah, he's a letterer. This is an interesting kind of a charmed type level story thing. Should be pretty cool to read. The Trekker book was a Kickstarter, yes. The Hunter's Moon was the most recent Kickstarter. Yep. I miss Chino, and I thought about getting Alien Alamo, and unfortunately, finances just didn't pan out for me to get it on time. I'll probably get it. I'll probably back it when issue number 2 and get the issue number 1 when issue number 2 comes out. And we got Resonant number 9 from Vault Comics. Another Usagi Yojimbo. Number 19. I mean, Usagi comes out all the time. It seems like next week there's going to be another Usagi book. It'll be Usagi Yojimbo, Wanderer's Road, number 6. Seems like Usagi comes out all the time now, which is a good thing. Tarna, and this is number, wow, they got the print so small I can't read it. Okay, I have to look inside. I'm sorry, folks. I don't have a magnifying glass. This is number 5. And that is Heavy Metal Publishing. And then a legacy issue, back issue 126 with the Flash. And there's some cool stuff in here. There's an interview with Brandon Routh talking about his time as Superman. There's a Green Goblin article, Ant-Man, Infinity Incorporated, the John Romita father-son legacy. So there should be some pretty cool articles to read in here. It's got a nice cover on it by the late Mike Maringo with finishes by Jose Marzan. So kind of cool. And that's what I got this week. I read Resonant, and I think there was one other book I was reading from Vault for a while that's ended. I don't remember for sure. It's, Resonant's okay. But here's the thing, pop culture and other viewers who might watch this later. A lot of companies do very similar genre and thematic structured books these days. And it becomes a question of just which book are you going to support and which creators you like the best. And for me, I think a lot of people they'll support an Image creator over a Vault creator or an Aftershock creator. Whereas I'll do the opposite. I'll support the Vault creator or the Aftershock creator or the IDW creator more often than I'll support the Image people, because the Image people tend to also have Marvel and DC gigs. And to my mind, they don't need it as much. That's just how I kind of view it. But it just depends, So it's a very odd thing. It's the same thing with Scout Comics. It's the same thing with really all the publishers. And a lot of the publishers publish the same writers too. So it gets kind of convoluted a little bit when you try to figure out what you're ordering in that regard. Okay. So that is everything that we did for reviews and everything that I got this week that I will be reviewing. I can't think of. Oh, geez. What's. Is it your cousin or your brother who bought the dragon? From me. either way, I just want to let him know if he watches this later on that his package was sent in the mail today. So it should be arriving in about 2 or 3 days, hopefully. Your brother, okay, yeah, yeah. I sent the package in the mail, and he should be receiving it hopefully by the end of the week, maybe the weekend. Should be there by it. Well, they said it at the latest the 26th. So I don't know if there's some sort of thing, but who knows what's going. You know how the post office is. So there you go. And I sent him an email with an update on that. I sent him an email, so he should know it's coming with the tracking number and everything. So that's that. So tomorrow's guest will be for Thursday night roundtable. If the screen will ever pop up. Why is it not popping up? There we go. This week's guest is Ted Davies. He's been a guest on the show before. He's the creator of Albino Zulu, Retrieve, and Grim 101, which is his new upcoming book that we'll be talking about. It's going to be a new Kickstarter starting on April 25th, I believe, is when he's launching that new series. And we'll be talking about Grim 101 primarily, but we'll probably also briefly go over Albino Zulu and Retrieve as well, and give you a chance to order those as well from him, and talk to him about, answer any questions about any of those series and other things he does, because he has his own channel as well, where he talks about everything from collectible watches to cigars to just a lot of different topics that he's got a lot of different interests that he tries to give you a lot of variety of things to watch and listen and about. So he'll be our guest tomorrow evening at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And Friday has yet to be determined. And then Saturday, we'll have our live draw. I do not know if I'll be bringing back the faces that I was doing last weekend, because the person that actually requested them told me that's not what they wanted. They wanted me to do something else. So I might do, I'm not going to do what he wanted. I'll do what he wanted, something else as a private commission. But I might do I think what I might do is if you go to my Facebook page, which is Lewis.WrightRaven on Facebook, I might put some stuff up on Thursday or Friday as different characters and let you guys decide what you guys want me to draw for weekend. How's that sound? Oh, okay. Well, that might be able. We might be able to do that. Have him contact me via Facebook on my Facebook Messenger if he's got that, or via the email. He's got my email at gmail.com, and we'll see what we can do and see if we can work that out. Okay. Yeah, I wouldn't be adverse to that. I don't mind having a fan guest on. I mean, John's a fan guest, my regular co-host. And he's not going to be on this week because he's getting his second COVID shot this tomorrow, I believe. Tomorrow or Friday, he's getting his second COVID shot, and he'll be out of town. So doing that because he's going. Well, I won't say he's going out of town. I don't know what he's doing exactly, but I know he's getting his second shot. So he's like, I don't want to be bothering with that because he doesn't know how he's going to react, how his body's going to react to the second shot. And most people don't. I mean, some people it doesn't bother, and some people it really kicks them in the butt. So I haven't had my first one yet, so I'll hopefully get that done. Hopefully later this month. That's the plan. But so that's it for today. And so I will see you guys tomorrow evening at 9 p.m. for the Thursday Night Roundtable. In the meantime, if you have questions, you can reach me at Facebook at Lewis.BrightRaven, at Twitter at LewisBrightRave2, DeviantArt.com/BrightRaven. You take care too, pop culture venture. Quoth the Raven, Lewis Bright Raven is the channel. Quoth the Raven LBR72@gmail.com is my primary email for the podcast. And if you can't reach me there, try LewisBrightRaven@yahoo.com. Our regular programming: Mondays, comics, news and reviews. Wednesday, like today, is what did you get this week? Thursdays at 9 p.m. is our roundtable talk. Again, tomorrow our guest is Ted Davies. Fridays is our genre night. We talk about movies, books, whatever. Again, each week is a different genre. We haven't determined that one fully. Monster fan, go ahead and get a hold of me. Maybe we can work something out this week or maybe next week. And of course, my computer's dragging. Live draw again Saturday and Sunday. So until then, we'll see you guys tomorrow evening at 9 p.m. Have a good day. Safe. Catch you next time.